This isn't really like a venting session in a way, but more of like I just feel very overwhelmed with how things are changing in Infinity Nikki, and I'm sure the player base is feeling the same way. For one, I love the interaction mode with multiplayer. I get to meet cool people and we get to have a little bit of fun and say hi to each other and talk in the chat if you want to, what have you. But the problem with I've been running into, a lot of people have been running into, is this game is crashing constantly with a lot of stuff that came out. Apparently there has been talk about the amount of money you're going to be needing to spend for the banners and stuff. So next patch is guaranteed 220 Resonite crystals for one outfit, which is kind of steep for a no-buy run. And I obviously didn't want to do a no-buy tutorial and guide on how I do this because of the new patch and since there's so much coming out. But 5-star outfits now have 11 pieces. People are complaining they want to reject 11 pieces and change the mirror crown duration back to 14 days per season, because it's kind of impossible for the no-buy runners to actually get much. Overall, they can do whatever they do. People are still going to give them money in the end of the day. Nothing's going to influence them, but I am glad that people are speaking out about this. So let's talk about how the C chapter is kind of confused. Sea of Stars confused me. When I first launched the game, I went through sort of what felt like a tutorial, and apparently they had replaced that with the actual tutorial that we had went through Wishfield. So you're starting in the Sea of Stars, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot to do in the Sea of Stars. It's just a lot of sea, not enough stars. Whereas if you had started in Wishfield, there was a lot going on in Flora Wish. You can automatically go straight into multiplayer, which in my opinion, I don't think should have been allowed, because people are going to be confused with how multiplayer is, just like how I was confused. You have to accept someone to do multiplayer, and I'm not even sure if you can go on quests with them. It's not something I have read into. Now, for how overwhelming this part was for me, the bubble market, I don't know why they keep adding currencies that I just don't know what in the heck is happening anymore. It took me a while to learn this whole currency, how I needed to convert my diamonds to resonites in order to use that, and then you need to actually buy stellarites, so you cannot get stellarites just on your own in a no-buy run, and that the surging ebbs come from poles, and you can use those on revelation crystals. This is you just straight up buy this. They did not even put this under resonite crystals or stellarites. Like, they straight up was like, give me money for this, we ain't doing anything else. Feels a little overwhelming in the fact that, what is a glimmer bubble lotion? What is a iridescent, I mean, I guess that's this, but what is this? What is that? Like, I don't know what any of this stuff is. Now you have radiant prisms, luminous prisms, rainbow prism. So it's like, what happened? Why is there just new stuff that's had? It's too much. In my opinion, I love the idea of C, but I didn't think that there would be more currency coming out and stuff we have to keep track of. Complete event quest. So I gotta complete the events to see what's going on here. What is a radiant prism? I already own 5. Okay, now this is the eternal snow, which is very beautiful, which is also very pretty. But is it just me, or do I feel like these do not match at all? For this, it says eternal snow, but I thought this was a sea event. So why is it snowing? And also, I mean, I guess this part doesn't really matter, the 4-star, but am I just a little confused on the lore or something? And some of this is just, it's it's nothing. Like, this is nothing. This page did not need to be here. I feel like people would know how to do this once you introduced multiplayer. Looping it in with all of this, it's just a little overwhelming in my opinion. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Next, we have this currency this was talking about, but this is limited time only, so you want to make sure to get what you can here. This part, I have no idea. So I was confused with this part, and then you get little quests here that you can do, and it says it refreshes at 4 every day. So does that mean it's going to do different ones? Here is the regular daily wishes for weekly realm 0 out of 1. So I guess you can do whatever here, and that notification will go away. Here is the Mira Crown, which refreshes in 20 days, which people did not like. Thinking about this in a new player perspective, I've never played a NIKKI Infinity game. They need to sort of take a step back with everything and kind of reevaluate what is their priorities of this game. Is it to make it as eventful? Because I know there are a lot of people that play this game and they finish it in like 20 hours or something, and so they're all out of content. But a majority of people are not like that, and your game doesn't need to be super complex in order for it to work. There have been mixed opinions on the die system. Personally, I was overwhelmed with the die system, and this might be a hot take, but I personally do not like it. But I am excited to see what outfits I can create, so I'm going to utilize it to the best that I can. Also, this is very new, and it does kind of defeat the purpose of getting your outfits evolved. I remember when I was going through, was it maybe Flourish? I don't remember where. It was in the little farmlands. I wanted to make sure to have every single color of this one skirt. So I was buying every single color so I could have it. But do I need to do that now because there's dyeing that's out? No. I don't know. Sometimes I just like ramble on things that maybe someone else is feeling the same way, and they're just a little overwhelmed, and that lets us not want to play the game as much, because I just liked the adventure. I liked collecting things. I don't like the idea that I have to probably save up a lot more in order to pull for a 5-star banner that I want. Not to mention, I will definitely have to save up a lot more because housing was supposed to be a thing, and I have already crashed though. I've crashed a couple times just by being in the multiplayer area, and it's hard because you don't want to just log into the game just to do the task that they have given you, which isn't tedious, but it's like kind of boring in a way. And it sucks to say that because this is a really pretty game. They need to focus on the cozy aspect of this game and less on how do we make it entertaining for like the Zoomers. They gotta just stop being so do this, complete these tasks, and let us like continue on with the story, or continue on with some sort of event that is pretty fun. Like the little doggy event that they had in the beginning. I remember that. It was so cute. It was in Maryland, and I don't know if anyone else remembers that, but that was like this is just thank you. Like, I feel like a lot of this stuff is just not necessary, but I know they want to connect other players with other players and doing a lot of extra stuff. I believe this game isn't completely done for as much as people are saying online, but we'll see how these go. I'm definitely still continuing my no-buy run. There isn't any chance that I'm going to be doing any resonates anytime soon, even though the new outfits are very pretty. No shame to anyone that has already done that, but if you're in a no-buy run, I suggest you wait a bit, because I believe they are going to release housing and maybe some more multiplayer stuff that you should probably hold off for. If you really want this, then go ahead. No one's saying don't do it, but I'll be holding off my revelation crystals and my diamonds. And we'll see where this game really leads us to, because I feel like they're a little confused. I feel like they don't really get what's going on, and they're just putting out content just to put out content. But they're also like, hey, look at this beautiful banner, you should get this. Like, let's just relax for a bit and have them fix all the bugs and have them fix the multiplayer aspect. And I think over time it'll be less overwhelming for sure, but it's okay if you're overwhelmed, because I just feel like this is just a lot. But we got this.